In episode 6, House of the Dragon moves forward in time again, and this time there are new actors. Rhaenyra Targaryen and Alicent Hightower, two of the most important characters in House of the Dragon, have been played by Emma Darcy and Olivia Cooke, instead of Milly Alcock and Emily Carey. Could they come back in later seasons? Carey says that nothing has been confirmed yet, but that there have been talks about it. Kicking us off, House of the Dragon just bid farewell to Milly Alcock and Emily Carey. Yes, Milly Alcock and Emily Carey's last scenes as Rhaenyra and Alicent were in episode 5 of House of the Dragon, if they don't come back in a later season. Episode 6 of House of the Dragon takes place about a decade after Rhaenyra's wedding to Rhaenyra Targaryen, Theonate. In fact, so much time has gone by that Rhaenyra now has 3 kids of her own, and Alicent's children have grown up a lot, but maybe not enough to understand how dangerous things are for House Targaryen right now. In either case, the time jump is big enough that Emma Darcy and Olivia Cooke are now Rhaenyra and Alicent when they were younger. But could we see the characters as they were when they were younger? Even the actors don't know much about it, but Carey recently said that it's been talked about. Could the young actors who played Rhaenyra and Alicent come back? Yes, it seems like the people who make House of the Dragon are thinking about whether or not they should bring Milly Alcock and Emily Carey back in the future. But if they have come to an agreement, they have kept it to themselves. Carey told The Hollywood Reporter that talks have happened and that she would be interested in playing the same part after House of the Dragon Season 1. People have talked about it and talked about it, but the truth is that I know nothing and have no idea, Carey said. I would love to come back, of course. It depends on how people respond to it and where they want the show to go next. I just let things happen. It would be great if Alcock and Carey came back to House of the Dragon. How can House of Dragons bring back the two actresses? Well, House of the Dragon deleted scenes can be used as flashbacks. In the 10 years that have passed since Emma Darcy and Olivia Cooke were last seen, many things are likely to have happened. After the time jump, Alcock and Carey are no longer a part of the show, but that doesn't mean they won't show up again. Some deleted scenes from Alicent and King Viserys I Targaryen's wedding have shown Rhaenyra and Alicent having an argument. Other pictures showed them having sweet moments together as the princess helped the queen get ready for her wedding day. These scenes that were left out could be used to show flashbacks and strengthen the story of a once close friendship that was broken up by events. As the story goes on and Rhaenyra and Alicent grow apart, flashbacks to when they were younger will show how close they used to be. This will make the story more interesting and touching. Why does the show have to include Rhaenyra and Alicent when they are young? In an interview, Alcock said that there had been talks about putting the younger versions of the characters into the show, but she didn't know how or when it would happen. Even though this is still just a rumor, it does leave the door open for it to be true. Fans really like Alcock and Carey, so it would be a good choice for the showrunners to do this. It's good to show little bits of the good old days to show how Rhaenyra and Alicent's rivalry is getting worse. As the story gets closer to the scary dance of the dragons, they will both do whatever it takes to do their jobs, even if it means breaking up their friendship. However, they are not the only roles to be recasted. Rhaenyra Targaryen, Nana Blondell, will replace Nova Foulis Mose, for while Leonor Velaryon, John McMillan will replace Theonate. In the second episode of House of the Dragon, we met Rhaenyra Velaryon. Viserys famously turned down a marriage proposal from Lady Rhaena because she's 12, but after the third episode of House of the Dragon, young Nova Foulis Mose is no longer Rhaena. Instead, Nana Blondell takes her place. Lady Rhaena is the oldest daughter of the Queen Who Never Was, Lord Corlys Velaryon, Steve Toussaint, and Princess Rhaenys Targaryen, Eve Best. The Velaryons are not only the richest family in Westeros, but they also run the strongest navy in all of the Seven Kingdoms. Rhaena is also a dragon rider, and she will ride Vhagar, the biggest dragon still alive. Rhaenyra Velaryon is the younger brother of Rhaena. He is the son of Lord Corlys and Princess Rhaenys. Laenor is first seen in the third episode of House of the Dragon when the Velaryons and Prince Daemon Targaryen, Matt Smith, are trying to get rid of the crab feeder in the Stepstones, Daniel Scott Smith. But as House of the Dragon goes on, John McMillan will take over for Theonate as the young Laenor. Laenor Velaryon is another dragon rider, and Sea Smoke will be his mount. Next up, in related news, let's talk about aspects of Rhaenyra Targaryen fans always misunderstand. First, the lords would not rise up against her, and the Great Council does not affect her. House Hightower says that the most important houses will fight against Rhaenyra's coronation, so it's important to find out which houses will actually do that. Leaving the Hightowers aside, House Lannister is the only one that seems ready to rise up against her. The Hightowers and Lannisters can't beat the other 6 kingdoms on their own. Since the Starks and Baratheons support Rhaenys and House Arryn counts Rhaenyra as blood through Aemma, it's unlikely that the kingdoms would go to war with Rhaenyra. If they tried, it would be easy for the other great houses to help Rhaenyra crush them. Since Otto acts like war is inevitable, it's important to keep an eye on how true his prediction is. Many fans say that the Great Council in 101 AC is proof that a woman shouldn't be in charge of Westeros, but it didn't do what it was supposed to do. The Great Council didn't decide on types of claims, but on candidates. Viserys, Rhaenyra, and Laenor were all brought up as possibilities, so the man who ruled Balerion was chosen to be the leader. There's no way to know why the lords ruled the way they did, so it's not true that it was all about keeping the patriarchy in place. Viserys made Rhaenyra his heir, and no lord said no, so it's not fair to blame the Great Council. Next, it didn't matter if her sons were trueborn, and she was right to protest her marriage. Rhaenyra may have made a dumb choice by having 3 kids with Harwin Strong, but their status has nothing to do with whether or not they will take the throne one day. Fans, and Alicent, may argue over and over again, but Rhaenyra and Laenor are the ones who have to make a choice. Without DNA tests, the only way to figure out who the parents are is to ask them. Since Laenor didn't say anything, Viserys is right to ignore Alicent's protests. What's important is that Rhaenyra and Laenor accept each other. Anything else is just idle trifles. Viserys first told Rhaenyra that she was going to marry a lord. Rhaenyra was completely out of her mind. Fans were surprised by how strongly she protested, since every lord and lady in Westeros is forced to get married, but it made sense. But after seeing her own mother die horribly because her husband made all the decisions, it was easy to see why she would be hesitant. The fact that her father chose his own bride for no political gain also made the order look like it wasn't being followed. Rhaenyra could also avoid getting married if a heroic side character like the Blackfish could do it. Finally, she's not immoral to raise bastards, and she wasn't abnormally power-hungry. Since Jace, Luke, and Joffrey are obviously Rhaenyra and Harwin Strong's illegitimate children, many fans say that her affair makes her completely unfit for the throne. But those fans tend to forget that King Robert also had bastards, and that Lady Mormont raised her bastard daughters as true-born heirs, even though she didn't have a husband. Even the most honorable people like Ned Stark have given birth to a jerk. Even though Ned might not have tried to pass Jon off as a true-born heir like Rhaenyra did, the laws of succession don't care. If Viserys agreed, Rhaenyra would be the heir and a good choice to be queen. Fans have said that Rhaenyra is too power-hungry because she holds on to the Iron Throne and doesn't give it to her brother Aegon. But those fans won't look at Rhaenyra's goals, nor for reasons as the heir to Westeros. Rhaenys had told her that no woman would ever sit on the Iron Throne, but Rhaenyra told her that she would change that. Rhaenyra wants to change Westeros, which is a good thing for someone who didn't even want to be Viserys' heir. A more ambitious princess would have put pressure on Viserys before or after Aemma died. Rhaenyra turned her back on her father instead. She was shocked when he offered her the job. Unfortunately, guys, this is all the time we had for today. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, cheers!